Be the change you want to see. Make a difference by giving your money a purpose, a mission to do good. Welcome to Money with Mission, where we talk to individuals, businesses, and organizations who are taking the lead and whose actions are impacting the well-being of their communities and the world at large.
Welcome back to Money with Mission. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. I'm talking to a good friend of mine that I've known for many years, Dr. Michelle Robin. Michelle believes you cannot heal the body without first healing the heart. It may be letting go of a painful memory, healing a broken relationship, or releasing other emotions that keep you from discovering the best version of yourself. As a chiropractor, author, teacher, holistic healer, wellness coach, podcast host, unshakable optimist, international speaker, and founder of Your Wellness Connection, Small Changes, Big Shifts, and Big Shift Foundation, Dr. Robin has left an impression on thousands of lives by helping them find a way to live a vibrant, happy, and healthy life. For 30 years, she has guided people to create small changes that ultimately shift their habits and their life. She's got so much to say. We're talking about this today because it makes no sense to invest your money, to have money, and then you can't enjoy it because you're sick. You're sitting in a chair, your knees hurt, your body hurts, you're just unhappy. So welcome, Michelle. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Well, Dr. Felicia, it's always good to hang out with you and see your smiling face. For those of you listening, we're going to actually look at each other eye to eye, which is awesome.
Michelle and I met, I don't know, 20 years ago.
Yeah, we met in 2002 or 3.
Something like that, yeah. When I was practicing urology in Kansas City, and we happened to meet because we were working in the same building. We have a lot of things in common. Even though I practiced Western medicine, Michelle brings the bigger holistic picture into everything. I was listening to one of your YouTube videos and you talked about, I think you called it a health crisis, and that might not have been the words you used at age 31. Is that what got you started and led you down the path to chiropractic and the overall holistic wellness?
You know, actually, Felicia, what led me to chiropractors is a health crisis, a physical health crisis. And when I was 15 years old, about 40 years ago, got hurt playing sports. My mom took me to the hospital. Nothing was broken. Then she took me to the chiropractor. And I remember absolutely zero about the chiropractic part of that experience, but I remember how that made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, I was a struggling teenager trying to figure it out. Grew up with a lot of bumps and bruises like people. And so that's the first way I got exposed to this way of life. I really started embodying it more and really understood the quote you said at the very beginning is, if you don't heal the heart, you will never heal the body, because you don't love yourself enough to do what you know you should be doing anyway. And so at the age of 31, I had a great practice, had a good relationship, but I didn't like myself. So I started throwing sabotage. I started sabotaging my life. And by the grace of God, I'm still here. So at 31, I had this spiritual, emotional health crisis that led me to truly being alive. Because before that, I was kind of walking around dead and thinking about, you know me, I've done a lot of self-reflection, and actually just came off a session this morning of self-reflection about self-love and about mattering. And what a perfect time to be talking about mattering when 70% of young people ages 9 to 40 feel lonely. 70%. So 7 out of 10 people between 9 and 40 feel lonely. And I believe that's at the root of all anxiety and depression. And I was lonely at the age of 31, even though I had the ideal life, air quote, on the outside.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's very interesting, because you talked about the physical at age 15, and then you talked emotional and spiritual at age 31. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't planning to go here that quickly, but you talk about the quadrants on your website, and that's basically what you live. Mm-hmm. And it's not something I thought about consciously, but it's 100% real. Why don't you explain the quadrants so everybody can understand it's not just physical?
Yeah, people have heard for years, mind, body, spirit, or spirit, mind, body. And yes, that's a big part of it. How do you put those into each quadrant? But my teacher was Dr. Richard Yenny. And when I was, about 32 years ago, oddly enough, I got a chance to meet him while I was in chiropractic school. And Dr. Yini's from Independence, Missouri, which you know where that's at, right in the middle center of the Midwest. And he, as a young boy, was fascinated with the Asian lifestyle. He was able to write Mandarin. He was able to speak the Asian, like he was Irish American, but he looked Asian when he passed away, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, he just embodied that whole persona, and he owned judo studios. And when he was with President Truman interpreting for him over in Asia, he got hurt, and he went to the hospital and they did acupuncture on his hurt shoulder. He came back through that experience, said, well, how do I get more of that? Came back to the United States. Closest thing to acupuncture was chiropractic.
Mm-hmm.
So he became a chiropractor and started teaching chiropractors and vets and doctors acupuncture. He transitioned about 8 years ago now, but I remember Felicia being in his class, and he held up a manila envelope. And those of you that just imagine, as you're listening to this, as you're working out or driving, he held up a manila envelope and it said 4 words on it: mechanical, chemical, energetic, psychospiritual. And at that time, I was a pretty much a brand new student, maybe a year into chiropractic school, but my undergrad was in accounting. In business. And we're talking about the business of money, but the business of health today. And when you think about running a phenomenal business, or even think about your home as a business, there's 4 areas: operations, marketing, finance, and leadership. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so the same is true of our physical, emotional body. We have 4 areas that we need to pay attention to, kind of like a car with 4 wheels on it. And how do we make sure we have enough air in all those areas? So mechanical would be the physical structure. You know, as a chiropractor, people think I spend a lot of time on that. And I do spend a lot of time on physical because it's one of my expertise. But how do we help the nervous system function at a higher level? So we think about the crisis we're in right now with the immune system. And you think about what feeds the immune system? Well, you get the innervation for the immune system through the nervous system, but what feeds the nervous system is what you put in your body. So there's the chemical aspect. So how do we treat it mechanically and make sure you have proper motion along your spine? I'm a diehard chiropractor, get adjusted every week, sometimes twice a week if I don't feel good, or if I've been playing too much pickleball. And then you got the chemical quadrant. The chemical quadrant is what makes the brain work. It's kind of like a tree. What makes that tree grow? And then you've got the energy. And energy is one of these things that you can't see it like air, but you can't live without it. And if you were, like I said, if you were able to see this conversation, and Felicia and I, we're having this soul to soul connection because we're able to see each other in this moment. And so that's the energy. You get energy through the colors you're around, through the air you're around, through the aroma you're around. And then the last part, which I think is at the rubber hits the road, or you should say the shift hits the fan, is the psychospiritual.
Okay.
And if you don't have a deeper connection to something greater than yourself, you're going to really struggle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And so she said shift, SHIFT, hits the fan, for anybody who was trying to, like, what did she just say? Big change, small changes, big shifts. So the shift hits the fan with the psychospiritual, and believing in something bigger than yourself, whatever you call that, is to me also key to surviving and being happy. And you talked about walking around dead. And explain that so people can understand. You know, people start thinking zombies and things like that, but that's not what you're talking about.
Well, I'm not exactly.
Yeah.
But it's where you're walking through life with no purpose, and you don't feel valued. You don't feel like you matter, that you have a reason for being on this planet at this exact moment we're in. And so for me, I see it. You can see people when you walk down the street. If you can look at their eyes, they will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much pain that the eyes reveal. And you could be alive and walking around with pain, but there's just a way of interacting with people. And here's an example. I don't know if you're a Mother Teresa fan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a book by a guy named Dr. Hawkins, and it's called Power versus Force.
Yes.
And so when you think about money with a mission, and how do you have the financial resources to do what you want to do, which is what your show's about. It's not about how can you get rich and take advantage of everybody. It's how can you have the lifestyle that you're designed to have so you can give back and help more people.
Mm-hmm.
But in his book, Power versus Force, Dr. Hawkins talks about measuring the vibration of humanity. And they would measure, if you believe in Jesus, Jesus had vibrated at 800 and Mother Teresa around 600. But Mother Teresa could walk into a village and people would start to heal, H-E-A-L, not H-I-L-L, heal, just by the vibration. So we all have a vibration to us. And I believe it's my personal responsibility for Michelle Robin to raise my vibration so that wherever I go, I'm adding energy, I'm adding good vibrations, I'm adding healing to the planet. And so that's what I mean when we see it, right?
Yes, 100% you can see it. And you have to look for it, and you have to, I don't even know if you have to believe it's there, but look for it. And you can see, I remember seeing a guy on the street holding a sign, I need homeless, blah, blah, whatever. I looked at his eyes and I stopped. I go, "You're not homeless, are you?" And he said, "No, I live with my mom. I just do this to get the money." It's like, I could look at him. Homeless people have kind of blank eyes as far as I can, when I look at them. This guy was alive. You could just tell he had something going on. And this is, you guys just pay attention to this. It's not as woo-woo as people think it is. We are connected. You have to feel that. And it's like, to me, it's not hard to feel. You start to hear little examples. You think about somebody and they call you. What is that? That's our connection. That's our energetic connection. It's something bigger than me, something bigger than Michelle, something bigger than all of us, but it connects us all. And that's how one of us raising our vibration puts out the ripples to heal way more than just ourselves. It's an amazing thing to me. Talk about a small change that makes a big shift.
Gosh, there's so many, but let's talk about in this moment of we're in the fall of 2021, kind of a crazy year, right?
Yep.
Coming through all this COVID stuff. So sleep, small change, huge reward. It is not even just a big, it is a quadruple big shift. So sleep is one of probably the biggest ones that I can think of in this now moment. And plus, just gratitude and just being really intentional about the moments you get on life, because we've definitely been shown this last, probably, I don't know about you, I've been shown my whole life, but really this last 18 months that moments matter. Moments matter.
Yeah, it does. And so you talked about gratitude, and we all, I don't know, I've heard gratitude, be grateful. And, there's times when it's just hard to see what's to be grateful for. So talk about that. Talk about, well, I've read that even just looking for something to be grateful for helps you chemically. Actually, there are chemical changes that happen in our body when we look for something to be grateful for, when we are truly grateful for something. Talk about that for me.
I'm going to kind of lump gratitude, kindness, and appreciation under one umbrella right now. And
okay,
science does show that we have these three neurotransmitters: the serotonin, the dopamine. Help me out. What's this third one?
Oxytocin.
Oxytocin. And those three chemicals, which are kind of the brain food, they are released when you are doing acts of goodness for yourself or for others, when you're showing appreciation or gratitude for someone else. Here's an instance. I was on a call this morning prepping for a conversation where I'm going to be interviewing some other leaders around gratitude and appreciation. And how there's people on the call that maybe people would call them in the background. We have the panelists and the people planning the event, and then you have the assistants helping out. And I actually asked one of the assistants, I said, "What's your thoughts? What do you think?" And after that phone call, she, and it makes me emotional right now, she sent me an email and said, "Thank you so much for including me. No one ever includes me in the conversation."
Wow.
So here we go. Here's the ripple effect. She felt included. So I can guarantee you she's going to include somebody else today. Mm-hmm. She took time to write me a note where I am going to be more intentional about including people the next time. Mm-hmm. And there's that ripple that just starts. And so besides the neurotransmitters, it just starts a good juju. I don't know about you. We need as much good juju as we can get right now.
I 100% agree. 100% agree. And little things make a difference, including this lady in the conversation, or this person in the conversation took no effort from you. It just was, "What do you think?" And how grateful she felt for being included. Like you said, the ripples of that will go forever. It's just amazing to me. It's one of the best things. Yeah, the best things. Money with Mission is a real estate and business investment company that specializes in finding projects that have the potential to give you a great return on your investment dollar and make an impact in the communities where we invest. Make a difference in your life and the lives of others. Go to moneywithmission.com to learn more.
Well, I want to share something real quick that makes me think about this. And so for all of you, wherever you're at right now, if you're driving, keep your eyes open. But if you're not driving and you're sitting listening to this, or maybe you're actually in the sauna meditating or whatever you're doing in this moment, I'd encourage you to paint these magic words across your forehead, MMFI. Make me feel important. You want to feel important. I want to feel important. We all want to matter. At the end of the day, from all my work, Felicia, I believe that we just want to matter.
Yeah.
We want to matter to another human being. We want to matter to the universe or God or Buddha, whoever we want to matter to the person walking down the street.
Yeah.
And that's what I think these times are about, is that we all matter.
That's amazing, because I just wrote my story about how I got to Money with Mission. And it really is about, I want to leave here. This makes me emotional, having made a difference, to have mattered for being here. And I think we all strive for that. And we all had that in us when we were born. And whatever happened over our lifetime, these wounds that happen that we never heal, makes you not see that. And I would push for everybody to go to Dr. Michelle Robbins' site, I always say this wrong, small changes, big shifts, and take a look and see what little things. She talks about exercising for a minute, taking a warm shower, little things that can make you feel good about yourself. First person to save is yourself. We hear it all the time on planes. If you're not good, nobody's good around you. And before we came on, I was telling Michelle about how I was taking care of my mom and I was giving everything to her. And I realized this is not going to last, because I'm burning myself out, and realized I had to be here for her. And to do that, I had to take care of myself. So I made small changes, like started exercising. Sorry, Michelle, I didn't think about you when I started this until I started reading about it again. It's like, start exercising. I mean, I was like at the doctor talking about how depressed I was, and they wanted to put me on drugs. And I was like, okay, I can fix this. I know what this is. I can fix it. Little things: eat better, exercise, kids sleep. Guys, if you don't think sleep is important, get a good night's sleep. You will wake up feeling like, oh my gosh, I can do anything. It's amazing to me.
You know, you're exactly right. I was sharing with you about 2 weeks ago, I was talking to a mom who was, I don't know, not doing so well. And I said, save yourself. Yeah. And then I actually thought, well, that's good wisdom. So I put on the top of my to-do list, save yourself. And not in a narcissistic way or any egotistical way or anything like that, but you've got to come from your overflow. So when I am giving energy to, whether it's speaking or clients or whatever I'm doing, is how can I give from my overflow? And you think about Money with a Mission is how do you have enough that when someone says, hey, you know what, my neighbor's house burned down, is there anything you do to help? You know, sure, I can throw in $100 or $200 or $500 or $20. Yeah. And you're not taking away from your own family because you have extra. And that's at the end of the day, you want to not only have extra finances, but you really want to have extra health.
Yes.
Yes,
100%. Because money without health is absolutely nothing. Health is wealth. That is the way to be and the way to live, the way to think about it. You have to take care of yourself first. That is your first investment. I heard you say that, your investment in yourself. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Michelle. This has been so good. And I know you've got a campaign coming up, your kindness campaign. Tell people how they can find out about that.
Sure, Cynthia. We're on a mission to reach a billion people. That small change can lead to big shifts. And our Give Back campaign is around kindness. It's a kindness campaign we do 31 days before World Kindness Day, which is on November 14th. And people can do one act of kindness. We called it ACT. We called also a campaign. It's not a challenge. It's a campaign. And so there may be a day where you just can't fit it in. No stress. We don't want you to feel bad about it. But so you're able to do one thing a day for the next 31 days, or maybe you do 25 over the next 31 days. That helps you be reconnected back to yourself, to your pets, to your friends and family, and to your community. Once again, science shows that helps people get out of depression and anxiety faster than anything, as well as loneliness. Mm-hmm. So that's what we have going on. It's a free campaign. You can find it in the show notes here. But Cynthia, before we go, it's at smallchangesbigshifts.com, by the way. But before we go, I want to tell you about something I'm super excited about that I've been working on for 3 years. I've actually been working on my whole career. And since you're here, I'll be able to, you might have got this in the mail. Did you get something like this in the mail?
Yeah, I saw it on your site. No, I don't
Yeah.
have it in the mail.
All right, you just
I
text,
saw that.
well, you text me your address, I'll send it to you, but it's 52 well-being snackables. And basically I took if you take 52 divided by 4, oddly enough, it's 13. It's a perfect number, right? And so
Mhm.
13 I took 13 tips for each quadrant. So here's what a card looks like, just so you can see it since you're not driving. And so this is a couple chemistry ones, and eat whole foods for your brain. Know your numbers, mindful eating, chew your food. So if you wanted to really shift your well-being, I give you one tip a week for the next 52 weeks. And some of them you're going to master. Kudos to you. But if you've not mastered it, if you start to master even 12 of these tips over the next year, it'll change your life. I know it because I've been working on this journey just like you. I come from parents that were sick. I've had my own drama and challenges, and I am thriving in my mid-50s. And so I'd love people to join us on this snackable journey.
That's fun. Where can we get that?
Smallchangesbigshifts.com.
There you go. Smallchangesbigshifts.com. If you're driving, can't get to this right now, it'll be in the show notes. Michelle, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Michelle is in Shawnee, Kansas. Is that where your Wellness Connection brick and mortar is?
Brick and mortar.
And she is everywhere on the internet. You can find her on YouTube. You can find her so many different places with so much information that's amazing and will help you really understand how small a change you have to make. It doesn't have to shake your world on the outside, but it will change your life. It really will. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Michelle. I'll talk to you again soon.
You've been listening to Money with Mission. There are projects happening right now where you can make a great return while positively impacting the lives of others. To learn more about today's guest or to download 7 steps to building resilient wealth for women, visit www.moneywithmission.com.
I hope you enjoyed the interview and are inspired to give your money a mission. Until next time, send your investment dollars into the world to bring you a financial return and improve the lives of others.